Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions headed into San Diego Comic-Con carrying one big final secret: its last dimension. The game features 4 unique playable worlds, but until now, only 3 had been revealed. Inside Xbox spoke with Thomas Wilson to find out at last the nature of that final 4th world, and a great deal more.
So the 4th universe that we finally announcing is Ultimate Spider-Man. But it's not just your regular Ultimate Spider-Man, it's Ultimate Spider-Man wearing the black suit. The idea is that to actually have the black suit allowed us to really push the combat further by just like having crazy stuff happening, like tendrils and tentacles coming out of the black suit as an extension of your fighting moves. And so that, that provides a very spectacular looking combat. Also, the villains that we provide with that universe are really exciting. We've revealed Carnage and also Deadpool. So awesome villains to be fighting against.
The only Deadpool! Oh, look at you. What about me? I thought you'd be taller. Oh well, we just won't use a lot of wide lenses. Deadpool! Thank you.
What we wanted to do with this game was really have 4 playable versions of Spider-Man, 4 different art directions, but also feel almost like you're getting 4 games in one. And so the idea is that for Amazing Spider-Man, we wanted to pay tribute to the old comic book. So it has that vintage quality, pen and ink treatment. What we did for Amazing Spider-Man is we really pushed the notion of web-based combat. Spider-Man will basically form shapes out of his web. So giant hammers, maces, fists, be able to pick pieces of the ground and swing them at the enemy. The idea was really to provide something that looked spectacular and that was unique to Amazing Spider-Man. So you're not going to see anything like it on the other dimensions. If we're talking about Spider-Man Noir, then that's a completely different gameplay. We're definitely slowing down the pace, we're slowing down the rhythm. It's all taking place at night, so it has this very dark, moody style. The art style is not just like a black and white treatment, it has that sort of film noir quality, almost Frank Miller style approach to the look and feel of the characters. You have them rim light on the character that make them stand out in the shadows as if they were drawn from a comic. But in Noir, it's all about stealth. We reward the players with multiple takedown animations, depending on where you're located. So you can be on walls, you can be perched up high, you can be right behind a character or next to a wall, and basically it's just taking them down one by one to navigate through the environment.
And I want him dead, understand?
And if we're talking about Spider-Man 2099, Spider-Man in the future, how cool is that? Well, it's taking place in the futuristic version of New York City. So the skyscrapers are like, gigantic. And so it allows us, because the character in the comic had web foils, we translate that into gameplay by having high diving action sequences. So it's basically base jumping, if you will, from skyscrapers. The only thing we have going for Spider-Man 2099 is also what we call accelerated vision. So accelerated vision is basically a power that Spider-Man had in the comics that allows him to see things that are moving at high speed.
With 4 unique dimensions and Spider-Man, it begs the question, just how are these worlds tied together into the story? Thomas explains.
We are talking about how the story is structured, how these dimensions come into play together. We have to talk about the Tablet of Order and Chaos. So the Tablet of Order and Chaos is a mystical artifact that gets shattered at the beginning of the game. All the pieces are scattered through multiple dimensions, and it's up to each Spider-Man to retrieve the fragments. As actually, in the context of the story, a spider sense allows him to sort of track down where they're located. And to flesh out the details of the story, we brought Dan Slott, the current writer of the Amazing comic book series, to sort of with our team to actually flesh out the details of the story. To make, how can we make sense out of 4 worlds together?
I got a bad feeling about this.
Finally, Thomas has a message for all the fans on Xbox Live.
I guess what I would say is that Beenox, for those who are not too familiar with our studio, is well known for paying tribute to the licensed material we're working with. That's the most important thing to us. So to be able to actually work closely with Marvel and just come up with these great worlds all together to pay tribute to Spider-Man is the thing that fans should be aware of. I believe that we'll be really happy about what we've put together for them.